I saw a bracket on Twitter today, and I actually started voting in some of it before I realized, wait, no, this is great content for stream. So I'm going to do it on stream. So here we are. From Jeremiah Johnson. Now, I will note that globe emoji in his name, that means he's a neoliberal, and having seen some of the tweets that he selected, it does sound like a lot of these are just going to be him not understanding systemic critiques. So we'll have fun with it. We'll see which ones are actually bad or not. But after a long year, it's finally time, announcing the worst tweets of 2023 bracket. Spent the entire year collecting hundreds of deranged tweets, awful takes, and the most insane discourses on the site. Only 64 were chosen. Now it's time to crown a champion. The rules: no Elon Musk, it's too easy and would end up being half the bracket. We're not looking for regular bad. We're not looking for normal slap fights. We're looking for the special brand of insanity you only get on Twitter. Okay, so he's got brackets. He split up the brackets into 4 regions: the Bean Dad region, the Coffee Wife region, the Chile Neighbor region, and the Israel and Palestine containment zone. Now, given that he is a neoliberal, I am not expecting his selection in this last one to be very good. But he went through a lot of effort, and there's definitely some bad tweets in here. So let's get started with the Bean Dad region voting thread. So, number 1, no bananas under socialism discourse versus my grift. You should be on this list, too. Well, no, because your bad tweet was from September 10th, 2001. Okay, so the first one is no bananas under socialism. There need not be any moralism here. When you eat a banana, you are bad. There just won't be bananas, because it doesn't make any other than capitalist sense to create a world-spanning daily banana infrastructure for people in Columbus, Ohio. I think this one is also part of the banana one, because there's 3 here. And I literally do cocaine and binge eat, not at the same time generally. I don't know where people in my replies are getting this idea that I'm some ascetic who thinks pleasure makes you a bad person. All of this because of bananas. Now, I wasn't really paying super close attention to it, but it's my understanding that the banana discourse was just that the ways in which we exploit the global south for a lot of our goods probably would go away under socialism. Like, we might not have like a global export of bananas under socialism. I don't really know where I stand on that, but I do think there is a worse tweet right here, which I have a special message for the mob of degenerate academic physicians and scientists, aka woke medicine, who regularly accuse me as a physician of being a grifter. My grift of designing an amazing online course for only $97 that teaches more about comprehensivism. Yeah, okay. We're gonna go with my grift. Next up, long COVID is capitalism versus trans femme Hitler. Okay. Has it occurred to anyone else that long COVID is our body's way of rejecting capitalism? Or, no, let's not normalize moss-gendering, please. I don't care if it's fucking Hitler. You wouldn't misgender trans femme Hitler as he/him. You'd call her a bitch. Okay. I don't know why we're bringing up trans femme Hitler. Why do we have to... Why does it automatically have to go to Hitler? You know what? I guarantee 99% Hitler is going to be in this thread somewhere. But I think I've got to go with... Because, like, the sentiment here is, like, correct. You shouldn't misgender even bad people. So I think I'm going to go with long COVID is our body's way of rejecting capitalism. That is an insane... this whole list is going to be what neolibs would make fun of? Yes, it is. So we can make fun of the neolibs while we do it, but I think there's still some good selections in here. Yeah, we're going with long COVID capitalism. Capitalism versus fungus. Okay. I remember seeing a leftist post a list that had cannibalism is bad on it, and that was one of the points on it that I thought was frustrating because of how many indigenous cultures have/had ritual cannibalism as a way of honoring the dead. Also, cannibalism just isn't bad regardless. It's just something that a lot of crackers associate with things that are bad, just like incest. No. Okay. So, in terms of the history of cannibalism, there are a lot of cultures that do practice funerary cannibalism, and where they will eat a part of the dead to honor them. And in that case, I don't like if it's not a case where you're like going and murdering people to eat them, you're just doing it as a funerary custom. It's still unsafe because of prion disease and stuff like that, so you shouldn't do it. But I don't think it's necessarily bad in that way. But the fucking incest thing, throwing that on at the end, that makes this a really bad tweet. As long as you don't eat the brain or spine, you're good. I assume. Yeah, prion disease is mostly linked to neurons and stuff like that, right? It's still. And Animal Pocket says, I don't think funerary cannibalism is what's being talked about for cannibalism bad. Yes, most people, when they say cannibalism bad, they're thinking, no, you're a fucking psychopath, you're murdering someone and eating them. They're not even thinking about that. And even then, like, funerary cannibalism historically has led to things like Kuru. So I can understand the historical intent behind it, but in general, even if you were to eliminate all the ethical concerns, it's still an unhealthy practice. Let's see what the other one is. This is really silly, but I don't like how anti-fungus The Last of Us is. It feels reactionary to our future body possibilities. That one's just silly. I think I'm gonna have to go with the cannibalism one. Not for the cannibalism discourse itself, but for throwing an incest there at the end. So we're gonna go cannibalism. Alright, so engage on gender versus Somali pirates. Okay, I am glad that this is on screen so that you can see that I am reading a tweet. I am glad that all of these tweets are on screen so that when people see them, they can't just clip the thing as me saying these things. You can clearly see on screen that I am reading a quote. So here is the first one. Yes, I'm a racist dog fucking pedophile. Now engage with what I'm saying about gender. Oh no. Oh my god. I think I remember seeing this one in the wild and just going, what the fuck? And let's see what the other one is. The US is in the Red Sea as part of an international coalition to stop piracy. I guess the anti-imperialist left are pro-Somali piracy now. And then this person says, the ethical and correct position, unironically, is to be pro-Somali piracy because those aren't pirates. They are fishermen within their nautical waters, fighting off illegal dumping and overfishing for survival. Drew, shut the fuck up. There isn't a single day you've made a point. I don't know enough about the situation in Somalia. I don't know enough about Somali pirates. I don't know how true this one is, but that's okay. I don't need to worry about this because this one literally just says, I'm a racist dog fucking pedophile. Now engage with me. So we're going with that one for sure. All right. Okay. People need to realize that the only reason we are taught that Nazis are bad is only because Nazi Germany threatened the other empires of Europe. It was never about ideology or protecting minorities. It was about the fact that Germany stepped out of the fold of Western expectations. Okay, yes, their neoliberal roots are showing. If Germany had never expanded out when the Nazis took over, if the Nazis only purged Jews within Germany, the world would not have reacted in the same way. I think that is just a true statement. I mean, America was Nazi Germany literally built the Holocaust based off of Jim Crow laws. And there were even when the Nazis first took over, there were even parts of Jim Crow that they didn't take because they're like, "Oh, that's too extreme." And like anti-Semitism was not something unique to Nazi Germany. That was a very common attitude in the area. So I think this tweet is generally correct, but in general, you probably shouldn't discourse on Twitter. So I can understand somebody just seeing that out in the open and going like, "Oh, we're only." Yeah, like, see, even the way they say it is the Nazis are bad, ? They're clearly opposed to Nazis. they're framing it in the way of why we view the Nazis as bad is that the Nazis went out and attacked other nations, and then they went in and then they freed the Jews and saw how bad the Holocaust was. Because again, like, they knew that the Jews were being oppressed in Germany, but nobody had any idea until they went into the camps how bad it actually was. So let's see the other tweet. I've always felt it weird that as an audience, we're exposed to intimate moments the characters haven't consented to sharing. Making the viewer an accidental voyeur at best, leaving us guilty of some form of sexual crime. I'm not sure which exactly at worst. My friend, you should not read books either. You're experiencing the whole life of characters who didn't consent. I don't. Fictional characters don't have consent. They aren't real. Like, if we're going to be concerned about the consent of fictional characters, then we should be concerned about every single time a person dies in fiction, is murdered in fiction. Like, my guy. I apologize for my crimes. Yeah, no. Movie consent, that one, that's the one that gets it. All right. Hiking is colonialism versus hand it to bin Laden. Okay. Hiking is the logic of settler colonialism. There's a mountain out there. I have got to turn it into an enclosure and domesticate it for aesthetic consumption. It's camelback time. Ecocide and... Okay, it looks like this is part of the same thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's Emily in Montreal. So this is continuing on. Ecocide and the climate collapse are predicated on the bourgeois romantic concept of nature, which is reified in national parks and performed by the bourgeois practice of hiking. To hike is to accelerate the climate collapse by reinforcing its conceptual arsenal. Do you think indigenous people went on hikes? No, because hiking is a practice of free time, i.e. of time in a negative relation to capitalist labor, i.e. time of bourgeois consumption. Hiking consumes alienated culture as an authentic experience for the petit bourgeois subject. Okay. Let's see what the other one is. And then the other one, this tweet has been deleted. That's always good to see right off the bat. Can pretty safely state that Bin Laden and I did not agree on much, but blowing up the World Trade Center is probably the most principled and defensible thing he ever did. Oh God, okay, yeah, last month when people were being told on TikTok that Bin Laden was based actually, I don't even want to engage with there's just... This is just somebody masturbating to their own, like, theory, like throwing in I'm sorry, but people who use bourgeois this much in general conversation, like, they have their heads way up their own asses. Okay, I don't agree with their statements here, but I do think they're probably primarily included because Jeremiah Johnson is a neolib. I think we can all agree that no, you don't actually have to hand it to Bin Laden. All right. Sex is fascism versus those are bikes. Hey, stop scrolling. What are you doing? Okay. Sex... okay, let's see what the quote tweet is. Twitter just gave me a promoted ad for condoms. What a fucking disgusting racist-ass loser website promoting sex and porn and disgusting fascist shit. Sex is fascism. A Maoist is explicitly and extremely sex negative. No in-betweens, no exceptions. Okay. That's pretty bad. That is already pretty bad. I am a very sex positive person. Let's see what the other one is. Oh, it's still going. Mutual consent assumes men and women have equal physical, societal, financial, and interpersonal power. Mutual consent can never exist in a patriarchal society. Oh, hang on. Before I continue reading, I do like how he blurred out everything except the hammer and sickle. That's important context to leave in. Mutual consent can never exist in a patriarchal society. Yes doesn't always mean yes. No always means no. Yes means no in patriarchal dominating situations. All sex is exploitative. All sex violates boundaries. Sex is anti-communist, anti-Maoist, and anti-people. Join the revolution. No! I don't like sex negative people. Why are tanky sex negative so often? Why does it keep happening? Alright. That one's really bad. Let's see what the other one is. Those are bikes. This is Tiananmen Square. Oh, Rose Dark, of course. Yeah. As much as I hate sex negative shit, I don't even want to keep that tweet on because those are dead bodies. Yeah. Fuck you, Rose Dark. Those are bikes. That's what we're going for. Yeah, I'm not going to be engaging in denial of atrocities committed. All right. Pussy phrenology discourse versus Nuke America. Would you stop scrolling Twitter? What are you doing? Oh man. Oh, okay. The pussy phrenologist. I don't know if y'all remember this one. This was she nuked her entire account. But there was a girl who was like obsessed with like the shape of vulvas. And like she was looking at a wall of vulva casts that was being used to demonstrate different kinds of vulvas, and she was saying these vulvas shouldn't be here because they are obviously either, I think it was neo-vaginas were included in there, and she was protesting that, and she was like, these have been subjects to female genital mutilation. And then like I think at some point a porn star showed up and said, hey, I haven't had FGM, and that pussy that you're pointing to as an example looks exactly like mine. And she started arguing with the porn star about her own vagina, and she's like, I don't think you know what your vagina looks like. And she's like, lady, I literally edit my own videos, what are you talking about? Anyway, okay, so that the pussy phrenologist is also a corpse molester is an all-time Twitter moment. That revelation couldn't happen anywhere else. Yeah, her dad was like worked at a morgue, and she like got access to a corpse to examine the vagina and like fingered it. Like it was really fucked up. I think pussy phrenology discourse probably should go on there, but let's see what the other one is. This Thanksgiving, my sincere wish is for every American citizen to know that when they nuke us, not only will we have deserved it, not only will we have it coming, but that call will have come from deep inside the house. Hey, ED, welcome in. Yes, it was an odd time to come into stream. So this is just garden variety anti-American sentiment, which, you know, yeah. No, American citizens don't deserve to be nuked. We have to go pussy phrenology. Oh my god, really? Nuke America is winning again? I guess a lot of maybe people who are voting are just voting based on that one single tweet, but what I think is, because he says discourse, I imagine it's probably just talking about the entire discourse and not this one tweet, which is just talking about it. That's my... Yeah, like this person says, this one seems unfair. 2 leaves out the actual criminal in question. This is just a bystander commenting on it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. They should have had actual context of the pussy phrenology lady. So, that is it for the first bracket. That was the Bean Dad region voting thread. Now let's move on to the Coffee Wife region. George Floyd refs versus adoption is trafficking. Refs were like the police kneeling on our necks, telling us to stop resisting. Oof. Oh, that's bad. Like, are they complaining about a game? I assume they're complaining about ref recalls in a game. Holy shit. Now let's see what the other one. Yes, adoption and foster are always 100% human trafficking, full stop. Some adoptees are happy with their parents and might not want to hurt them, but doesn't change. All adopters either bought or were paid to take a child. 2 says, I don't remember what Coffee Wife was. Oh, there was a lady who talked about how she has coffee with her husband every morning on their patio and they watch the sunrise and just have a fun talk about things. And everyone was like, check your privilege. Not everyone else can do that, when she was just sharing a nice thing about her life and wasn't trying to like make people feel bad or anything like that. It was exactly as normal as Twitter gets, like, say, when somebody decides to make chili for their neighbors. You know, it was that kind of a thing. Yeah, no, the adoption thing, I don't know enough about the adoption system myself, but I don't think this is true. That being said, can we not compare bad calls from referees to a black man who was murdered in front of America? We're going with the George Floyd refs. Gaylor versus Thaler. So I'm guessing these are all Taylor Swift ones. Won't be staying up to listen. Fuck that, and fuck her for queer baiting for a decade and then suddenly acting like it never happened. Was it truly all narcissism to pull the biggest audience she could get? Sai says, I was adopted. My dad is way better than what you would have had. Yeah, like, I don't have really an opinion on this. I don't know enough about adoption. Okay, so complaining about Taylor Swift queerbaiting. Is queerbaiting something that like an individual person can do? I always thought queerbaiting was like what Disney does, where they say, well, we've got our first gay person ever, and like it's Josh Gad holding hands with another guy for 2 seconds that gets cut from the Chinese market. Like, I thought that's what queerbaiting was. Or like what Moffat did between Sherlock and Watson in Sherlock. Let's see what the other one is. Message to Gaylors: you are not invasive or delusional for thinking Taylor is queer. Years of dropping hints is a weird, misleading, and inappropriate thing for a straight person to do, because they're identifying colors in photo shoots and costumes. Okay, and then the Thaler, what do we got? I believe Taylor Swift is a closeted non-binary, and it is so fucking disrespectful of Swifties to assume Taylor goes by she, her. Like, address Taylor as they, them. Taylor has never confirmed their pronouns are she, her. It's really not that hard to be fucking respectful. Okay, so do we want somebody who is going to be projecting their own idea of Taylor Swift's gender onto her, or do we want to go with somebody who is complaining that Taylor Swift is not gay? I'm inclined to go with Thaler, because I don't think it's ever appropriate to like address Taylor as they/them. I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift has always used she, her pronouns. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Thaler. Yeah, that's a massive projection. I agree, Trans Girl Jade. All right, Black Girl Magic versus Writer Strike. Are Afghans familiar with hashtag Black Girl Magic and the movement and inspired? Do Afghan girls need a similar movement? What about Afghan women? Teach me, ready to learn. Hashtag Black History Month. Tagging Beyonce, Lizzo, and Regina King. Tweet has been deleted. I don't know what Black Girl Magic is. But this is a white lady. So yeah. It almost sounds like it's a white lady using black feminism to be like, this is what, you know, Afghanistan women need to free themselves from the Taliban. It like that's kind of my read there. That's really bad. It's very, very tone deaf. But let's see what the other one is. This strike is immoral. These writers should continue working to provide access to the mental health outlet of millions of Americans. People will commit suicide because of this, and these writers will be morally culpable. As somebody who covered the strikes for all of this year that I've been streaming, just being more familiar with this sentiment, I am more inclined to go with the writer's strike, but the Black Girl Magic one seems pretty bad too. But yeah, no, fuck this guy. Actually, I'm genuinely surprised that a neoliberal would put this one here. Valhalla Vidya says, from what I saw on Google, Black Girl Magic is about loving yourself, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I am very white. So sorry, I don't know what that is. I think I'm gonna go with the writer's strike, just because I don't have enough context to know how bad the other one is, and I know exactly how bad this sentiment is. Kissinger in Heaven versus reactionary art. No, I'm sorry, this is funny. Henry Kissinger is pumping Rosalind Carter full of cum in heaven right now. Oh my god. No, okay. This is actually a reference to a Cody Johnson tweet when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Cody Johnson was like making fun of all of like kind of the centrist-y types who were like do you remember Ruth Conda Forever and all the shit like that? Well, Cody Johnson said like John McCain is pumping Ruth Bader Ginsburg full of his cum in heaven right now. So that's what this one is. This is very obviously a shit post. So I think we're probably going to go with the other one. I think this is actually really funny. Now, I don't know much about Rosalind Carter. I know she was, first lady for Jimmy Carter. So she's catching a stray here. But I think this is actually incredibly funny. Let's see what the other one is. I have no patience for reactionary and fascist art like Everything Everywhere All at Once, Harry Potter, and Puss in Boots 2, especially when Hollywood has shown that it can produce truly radical and subversive art like Wednesday and Avatar 2. What? It's like you're just throwing darts at a board and saying this thing is good and this thing is bad. Now, I have not seen Wednesday and Avatar 2, so unfortunately, I don't have the context to be able to compare those media with the other stuff, but like, I have seen everything that she's calling fascist art, and while Harry Potter, sure, I'll agree with you there. In some respect, I don't necessarily know that I would just go and call Harry Potter outright fascist, but J.K. Rowling is definitely a bigot, and there's some deeply problematic elements in Harry Potter. Lots of anti-Semitism and slavery apologia, lots of bad stuff in Harry Potter. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is a really good story. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was a fucking banger. I have no idea what this person's talking about. The Kissinger to Heaven tweet is good, actually. This is a very funny shit post, so we're going with reactionary art. The French versus Vegans Are Fake. AP style book. Okay, we recommend avoiding general and often dehumanizing the labels such as the poor, the mentally ill, the French, the disabled, the college educated. I'm sorry, that's really funny. Just throwing in the poor, the mentally ill, the French. Like, there's an interesting, like, there's something interesting to be said for, like the way that, like, some people would talk about Ukraine as the Ukraine, as if it's not a nation, it's just a region. There is certainly something to be said here. I just think the placement of everything here is quite funny. Two says that's where they belong, to be frank. Look, French are kind of one of the acceptable targets when we're, like, talking about making fun of nationalities. It's like French and Canadians, and especially French Canadians. That's good. Like, are you disabled? No, I'm just French. Instead, use wording such as people with mental illnesses, people with Frenchness. And use these descriptions only when clearly relevant. I think in general this is a good style guide, but it is actually quite funny. Let's see what it is. Fun fact, a human being will only live for 2 weeks without meat. Even if they're eating salads every day, they basically starve to death, so everyone who claims they don't eat meat is a liar. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true at all. That's not even remotely true. That sounds like the kind of misinformation that I've often heard from dogmatic vegans, just like in the other direction. Yeah, so the French is funnier, vegans are fake is wrong. So as much as I would love to see what happens with the French going up here, I don't think this is a bad tweet. I think this is actually a very good tweet. We're going with vegans are fake. Wind power versus Chernobyl. New York Times airhead Ezra Klein. Clean, abundant energy is the foundation on which a more equal, just, and humane world can be built. 2 points. Wind power made the transatlantic slave trade possible. And 2, modern clean energy has been a disaster. Wind power... Yes. Old ships sailing across the ocean used sails, which was wind power. Oh my god. Yeah, he is. He's talking about sail ships to say that we should not have wind turbines. And modern clean energy has been a disaster. I mean, I'm sure this person's just, you know, probably... Well, it used to be back in the day. Check marks actually meant something, but, you know, this is from this year, so they paid for it. Yeah, let's see what the other one is. How Ukraine's dam collapse could become the country's Chernobyl. Okay, that one's good. Hold on. No, I think this one has to get it, because Time should know better. Because if you don't know, Pripyat, which is where Chernobyl was, the Chernobyl power plant was in Ukraine. So I would say Ukraine's Chernobyl is already it's Chernobyl. Ukraine's second Chernobyl? Okay, like, yeah, I could see, but somebody fucked up with that headline. Time, y'all ought to have known better. We're going Chernobyl. Wind power won most of it, but I'm just, this person, I don't know who they are. They're stupid. This is a massive fuck up from a major magazine. They should have known better. Seed oils versus special betting. Chernobyl literally affected all of Europe? Yeah, it did. But it was also, you know, in Ukraine. Come on, stop the scrolling. Thank you. Real reason people OD on heroin is its pure linoleic acid, seed oils injected straight into your body. Fentanyl, too, because it's essentially a hyperpotent linoleate. Fentanyl zombies shuffling around San Francisco are the end point of our seed oil experiment, only sped up. I have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, opiates, a lot of them derive from, like, poppy seed, right? So, you know, it is a seed-based thing, but that doesn't mean all seed oil are opiates. Quinn says Chernobyl is real. I thought it was just an HBO special. Yeah, you know, they actually went and retroactively did Chernobyl because they thought it was such a good miniseries. Okay. Move on to the other one. We are proud to be the first sports book to offer betting odds on the Special Olympics. Oh no, I'm already voting for this one. Holy shit. No. Not even a fucking, not even close. Oh my god. You, whoever wrote this tweet is going to hell. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, that's not even a fucking contest. Bring back Kobe versus don't like parties. Okay, again, I have to stress that you can clearly see there is a tweet on screen that I am reading. I am not saying these things, I am reading them. What's the weirdest thing y'all would do to bring back Kobe? I'd probably dig up Hitler and have sex with his remains. Again, I am not saying that. I am reading that. Valhalla, no. Stop. Valhalla, no. No. Do not fuck Hitler's corpse. Do not fuck Hitler's corpse. You are not allowed. Okay, yeah, OBS disconnected for a brief second there. What did we miss? I was yelling at Valhalla video. Okay. And then here we are. The other one is don't like parties. Hey, Dylan Burns. Dylan Burns telling Kyle Broflow, oh, this guy's insane. You are probably really fun at parties. I don't like parties. They're loud, crowded, everyone in them is completely annoying. They also do absolutely nothing to help the suffering third world or overthrowing US imperialism. I will enjoy one-on-one time with comrades, but other than that, I don't care for any of that. That one just feels more like they're specifically making fun of this account. This just sounds like a standard introvert, but they do nothing to help the suffering third world or overthrowing US imperialism. That's some LARPy shit. That being said, the other one wanted to fuck Hitler. Yeah, Valhalla, I was telling you, no, you do not fuck Hitler. I was saying don't have sex with Hitler. It won't work. You will not bring back Kobe. Don't do it. But I want Kobe. It's not going to work. So don't do it. It's not worth it. It won't do what you want. All that will happen is you get, like, I don't fucking know, zombie STDs. Don't do it. But if it did, though, it's not worth it. Don't fuck Hitler. I'm voting for bringing back Kobe here because that's bad. Don't fuck Hitler. Don't fuck Hitler's corpse. Like, I don't think I need to explain this to people. I think that's everything in this bracket. So let's move on to the third region, the chilly neighbor region. You're gonna have to... Valhalla Vidia. I don't even know that Hitler's grave is, like, known. Like, it doesn't seem like something that you would want to have as a site for honor, right? Like Germany... I mean, Germany was even turning their, turning the birth home of Hitler into a police station because they wanted to stop people from making pilgrimages to it. Although turning it into a police station, I don't know how well that would help. They fried him to... I have no idea what they did with Hitler's corpse. I've never looked into it. I'm just saying. Dude, smoke the ashes. I don't think that would be... I don't think you should be consuming human remains. We already had a cannibalism tweet, okay? Alright. Balaji's Bet versus Tate's Incels. What do we got? I will take that bet. You buy 1 Bitcoin. I will send $1 million. $1 million. This is 40-to-1 odds as Bitcoin is worth $26,000. The term is 90 days. All we need is a mutually agreed custodian who will still be there to settle this in the event of digital dollar devaluation. If someone knows how to do this with a smart contract, we can do it on-chain so I can send USDC. If you won't do that, name a custodian bit signal. That's an insane bet. Holy shit. What was the bet on? Also, before I go into the other one, putting $1 million up against 1 Bitcoin. Fucking Bitcoin. What? Oh my god. Yeah, okay, let's move on to the other one. Amy Therese. Oh, don't we love Amy Therese? Oh no. Oh god. Oh my god, it's immediately racist. I don't think it's a coincidence that Andrew Tate is half black. He represents a kind of forbidden fruit, hypersexual, half man, half beast, primitive savage who is going to beat you in a fight, and R-word your women folk, and young incels are so effeminate they're horny for him too. Oh, Amy Therese is an insane person, a very transphobic insane person, very racist insane person, as you can see here too. Yeah, we're going with Tate's incels. Oh, that's not even a fucking contest. I mean, this bet is really stupid, but holy shit, that's racist as fuck. Yeah. All right, what do we got? Not Ensouled versus Dictator Pope. Girls who don't mind never receiving orgasms and oral sex versus girls who insist upon them. So basically saying that they think that women who expect to have reciprocation for sex are ugly. And here we go. Children conceived when the mother didn't have a climax are not ensouled, by the way. Oh, this is the actual tweet that's being linked on. When it dies, its spirit neither goes to heaven or hell. It is just destroyed like that of animals. Okay, that's actually really funny. No, I'm sorry. That's a funny one. Like, if this was the bad tweet, I think that would be in better consideration. But the fact that it's saying not ensouled, this is the focus. I'm sorry, this is a shit post. This is really funny. Failed pull out as a limbo baby. All right, let's see what the other one is. I remember this. Really? The Pope is a dictator who has the authority to exercise unlimited power without due process? Readers added context they thought people might want to know. Yes. Papal supremacy, the Wikipedia article. Yeah, it was, the Pope was, I think, saying things positively about trans people. I think he was saying that trans people can get baptized, and there were some other things, and then he went and had dinner with a bunch of trans people. And a bunch of trad cats got really pissed off about it. And, you know, when I say trad cat, like, a lot of trad cats aren't even actually Catholic. They have taken on the label because they're Nazis, and they think that, you know, that they've looked for the religion that they think most closely suits their ideology. And since the Catholic Church was collaborating with the Nazis during World War II, as far as my recollection goes, you know, it makes sense as that. And Tradcath, because they reject Vatican II, which, among many things, declared that Jews were not responsible for Christ's crucifixion. So, yeah, people who reject Vatican II, by doing so, are rejecting the claim that Jews are not still held responsible as a race for murdering Christ. Pope also said LGBTQ is a colonizer ideology. Hey, I'm not here to defend the Pope, okay? I don't like the Catholic Church. I am not a fan of the Pope. He has said some more progressive things, but he is still ultimately the head of a pretty oppressive religion. So, I'm not here to defend him, but here's somebody freaking out because his religion tells him he has to listen to his Pope and he doesn't want to. When his Pope is saying something quote-unquote woke. So, we're going Dictator Pope. Not Ensouled, that was a funny shit post. Wasn't one of the popes in the Hitler Youth? Yeah, the last one was. Benedict. Eat a child versus sexy daughters. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like the term sexy daughters already, but let's see. Should it be legal or ethically okay to eat a child? Oh, why are we in cannibalism again? To eat a child with a mental capacity lower than the smartest animal that is regularly consumed by your culture. Assume the parents' consent. Hey, Sebastian. I do remember you. Welcome in. Oh my god, why? Why is this a poll? Oh, I want to see the results of the poll. Oh. But let's see. Okay, both legal and it's okay. Legal, yes, but it's not okay. Not legal, but it's okay. Neither legal nor okay. I'm going with neither legal nor okay to eat humans. Let's just not do that. The weak should fear the strong. Eat the child. Hey, fem, bro. Oh, this is bad. Let's see what the other one is. What Donald Trump said out loud, millions of fathers with gorgeous, sexy daughters think about. Oh, fuck me. Okay, this has to be what he said about Ivanka. Oh, you think fathers whose daughters end up in Playboy or are actresses and models who use their sex appeal to promote their attributes don't fantasize about them? It's called being human. Oh. The author's really hidden fetish. You're right. Yeah, yes, both of these are awful. I think I'm gonna go with the pedo one though. Yeah. There's eating a child versus fantasizing about your child. Yeah, oh god, they're both so bad. I'm going with sexy daughters. They're both bad, but yeah, that's a pretty close margin right there. Clippers are eating well today, too. Hey, look, I am reading them. They're very clearly on screen. Geo Scotty versus selling children. Oh, God. Nazis are so fucking creepy about Geo Scotty. If you don't know who Geo Scotty is, she is an Instagram influencer, and I am pretty sure that at least at the time of the photos that all of the Nazis have been using of her, she was like fucking 16. Okay, let's see what this one is. Again, I am reading a tweet. You can clearly see the text on screen. If you try to clip me out of context, it's still obvious there is text on screen here that I am reading. Not every girl was born to be a sex slave. I am reading that. That is a quote. That is not me saying that. Emily Ratajkowski is. So I don't know who Emily Ratajkowski is, but they're saying she was born to be a sex slave. Geo Scotty is not. She's meant to be greeted with a kiss on the forehead, a light smack on the ass, and be surprised with vacations and handbags. Total QT wife material. You must know difference. Again, I'm pretty sure she is underage in this photo. You're gonna make a YouTube poop fetch thing the most horrible shit things. Alright, let's see. Well, I am recording this one, so the record is here. Like, this is going up as a segment. An awful, awful segment. So there will be a record that I'm clearly reading these tweets. Oh, hey, it's Cybersmith! Yo! Of course Cybersmith had to make it in here. Oh, man, that guy, in some cases, not being allowed to sell children can be the worst outcome, for instance. Valhalla Video says, apparently Emily Ratajkowski is from Gone Girls. I don't know. Emily Ratajkowski is a model who has been nude in movies like Blurred Lines and movies like Gone Girl. Okay. Oh! Okay, she was the girl that Ben Affleck was cheating on Rosamund Pike with. Yeah, okay. Okay, I know who she is then. Libertarians not beating the Nazi charges. Well, is Cybersmith a libertarian? I don't even know. I thought he was like a monarchist. I don't even know that he has a coherent ideology. He's just a really weird guy. Cybersmith's ideology is that he's a lolcow. That's his political ideologies. Whatever will get him attention from people mocking him. Libertarian monarchist? Okay. All right. This one's funnier. They're both awful, but this one is talking about God, they're both talking about, like, slavery. They're both about slavery. Holy shit. I gotta go with this one just because the Nazis are so fucking weird about Geo Scotty. Sorry, Cybersmith. Maybe next year. Or maybe you've got another tweet in here. Who knows? All right. Jordan Peterson posts milking porn versus Crypto Mistress. Oh, God. Yeah. Man, that one was legendary. This was very obviously fetish porn. It was guys with, like, cock milking devices strapped to them. And Jordan Peterson fell for a post saying that this was a semen milking farm in China. Sight Ethel says, if I pass out during the stream, I'm gonna have some strange dreams. Yeah. Such fun and unbelievable techno nightmare CCP hell. Man, okay, like, at some point, I feel like it's ableism to even, like, point at Jordan Peterson. The guy obviously fried his brain when he went on that benzo withdrawal coma. Like, he came out of that and he was just not okay afterward. He's never been the same after that. So, and like, it feels like the Daily Wire has just been like engaging in elder abuse by giving him a job. But he is also very funny. He posts incredibly funny things. So it's, you know, and also he was a bad person before the brain damage. So, like, you know, it's one of those things. Let's see what the other one is. Sometimes in life you make mistakes you can't undo. Sad to tell you all that Bethany Literary and I are getting a divorce. She filed divorce papers to me today. To get it out of the way so there are no questions, yes, I am with Duchess of Defy. I don't know. They said Crypto Mistress, but I don't know who these people are. I don't care about this. Jordan Peterson, legendary tweet. Has to win. I'd rather marry versus Epstein teens. Oh, God. Okay, let's see. I would unironically rather marry a woman who has had sex with a dog, so any white woman, but was a virgin with men over one with any body count of human males, and I think anyone who actually understands women would agree in private. I don't think I would want to fuck anybody who has fucked a dog, personally. Let's see what the other one is. It's called Epstein Teens, so I am terrified. Banana alt. Richard Hanania. I feel like I have seen that name before. Feel like we're gonna see something bad here. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein wants to have sex with a 14-year-old girl and will pay her $10 million. The money will go into a mutual fund that will pay out when she's 21. The girl agrees, as do both of her parents. Should this be allowed? And are you male or female? Oh my God. Oh, I don't know. I think that, like, this just seems like your garden variety libertarian who wants to justify having sex with teenage girls. This one is about wanting to fuck a woman who's fucked a dog. So, like, I almost feel like this one just wins out for novelty's sake. Like, this one is obviously bad, but, like, it's bad in the way that I would expect to see from, like, libertarian dude bros. This one's a cut above, so I'm going with this one. What do we got? Cody Tubman versus Mental Age Gap. Bro. Okay, again, you can see very clearly on screen, I am not espousing these opinions. I am reading them. This is incredibly racist. Harriet Tubman was engaged in human trafficking. She was no better than the cartel coyotes we see today. No. No, that's not true. That's not correct. No. What's the other one? Can we talk about the problematic mental age gap between these two and how Taylor might actually be grooming Travis? Travis has multiple head injuries and suffers from CTE, leading to the huge mental age gap, which makes him vulnerable. This honestly reads like a shitpost. Like, honestly, this one reads like a shitpost. We're going with Coyote Tubman. Guys, human trafficking, if you help people escape slavery, yeah. Look, it's just as bad to traffic people out of slavery as it is to traffic them into it. The real problem was the trafficking, right? It's ridiculous to try to neurotically shelter kids from secondhand smoke when it doesn't even have nicotine, a drug, which is literally the whole reason children shouldn't smoke cigarettes. And saying, I would like to be able to ride the subway with my 4-month-old baby and not be in a car with people smoking. So they're just denying secondhand smoke. Just garden variety science denial here. Let's see what the other one is. Earlier today, the governor said the subway was safe and plans to get people the help they need. And plans to get the people the help they need was working. Here's my ride tonight. 2 women smoking crack together. Can we get people to stop smoking crack on the subway? Actually, hang on. So smoking in the subway discourse versus plain window. Okay, so these two are part of the same discourse. Was there like a whole discourse on this that I missed? All right, let's see. Yesterday, I asked for windows to be opened. Do better, Air Canada. Yeah, can you crack open the window at 30,000 feet? People were saying it's ableist to oppose smoking crack on the subway. I vaguely remember that discourse. I think Vosh was saying something about it where he was just saying, like, guys, no, you should not smoke crack on the subway. Yeah, like, addiction is a thing, obviously, but you probably shouldn't be doing that in public. You should probably, like, if you have to smoke crack, don't just do it in a subway car. Like, go find some alley to hide behind to do it or something like that. Yeah. Let's see. But, okay, do I want to go with Plain Window? Plain Window is just incredibly funny. That is just incredibly funny to want to open a window on a plane. But I only vaguely remember this smoking discourse. Just more evidence for safe places to use drugs. Yes. Safe injection sites, stuff like that. Yeah, I agree. I have no idea how long this discourse was going. Okay, well, hang on. This tweet is from January 27th of 2023, and this one is from February 10th. So that went at least 2 weeks of discourse, which sounds really bad. Usually discourse cycles last a couple of days. So maybe I'll go for that one. I do think the Plain Window one is very funny, but I also have been voting for things that aren't the funnier one, because the funnier one was obviously a shitpost. And honestly, this could be a shitpost. Like, let's be honest, that could just be a shitpost. Let's go with smoking in the subway. All right. And then I do believe we've got one final one, and we have Israel-Palestine containment zone. Now, again, this person's a neoliberal. I have no idea their stance on the situation on the Gazan genocide. So we should be prepared for their selection of tweets to be really bad. How many militant groups were founded by a wheelchair user and have another commanding their military operations? Lot of disability representation in Hamas. Yeah, you don't... Issuing correction on a previous tweet of mine regarding the terror group ISIL, you do not, under any circumstances, have to hand it to them. If Gaza stays in Gaza, there will be another Hamas. If it's relocated, say, to Canada, there will be Hamas in Canada. But if you send all these people to China to Uyghur re-education camps, then within 10 years you'll have model Han citizens. You think Worm-Sided is a shit poster? Yeah, yes. This definitely could just be a shit post. This, on the other hand, is just tanky apologia and genocide apologia. Not just for Gazan genocide, but for the Uyghur genocide. So yeah, Gaza and China. That one gets the vote. Black Friday ceasefire versus Guess I'll Die. Oh, looks like we've got 4 tweets to go through here. So let's see. Okay. A 4 to 5 day ceasefire is just a humanitarian pause by different branding. Yes. Not to mention the ceasefire occurring around Black Friday / capitalism's biggest holiday. It's not for humanitarian purposes at all. Continue boycotting and only spend money on essentials that do not support Israel. I don't know that the humanitarian pause that they were considering Americans shopping for the 4 or 5 day pause. I don't think that's the consideration that went in there. This is just conspiracy? Yeah, it is. It's conspiracy brand stuff. Let's see. Saw someone say the ceasefire that's about to be announced being in the same week as Black Friday isn't a coincidence. It's all about the money. Yeah, this is just conspiracy brand stuff. All right, let's see. America is also a terrorist occupation. Do we all deserve to be slaughtered by Native Americans? Oh, this one! Yes! Listen, if Native militant groups started doing shit where I live like what Hamas is doing in occupied Palestine, I'd simply have to hand it to them. How could I possibly object? If I got murked, I'd just be like, lol, nice one, good on you. I'm a settler at the end of the day. I don't get to be precious about living on stolen land. No. Let's see. Do we have a follow-up? Smug liberal voice. So you must consider yourself an acceptable target in the event that Native Americans started fighting back. Man, it'd be a fucking bummer and I'd hide in a hole like a rat to avoid it. But yes, I have to say this is incredibly racist. This is incredibly racist. This is the fear of reprisal, but woke. This is saying that Native Americans want to kill you all. Like, no, they don't. I think the Black Friday ceasefire conspiracy stuff is general conspiracy brain shit. This is like people trying to be so woke that they will racistly let people kill them. We're going with Guess I'll Die. Oh no, Dead Guy's Sperm versus Renaissance Simulation. Dead Guy's Sperm, I think, is probably going to win because I know what we're talking about. Shaylee Atari's husband Yahav was murdered by Hamas terrorists. She did everything in her power to retrieve his sperm so that their dream of having more children would live on even without Yahav. Unfortunately, she was unsuccessful. There are still so many families that we can save. Every minute counts. Bring back our children now. And it was, I don't know, yeah, it doesn't have the animation, but like Israel had like a whole animation about retrieving sperm from dead soldiers. I have to say, it feels like it would be easier if this is your concern about losing sperm from soldiers. It feels like it would be easier to set up a sperm bank for soldiers than to desecrate their corpses to get their sperm. Hey, mommy, how was I born? Well, we took some zombie cum and I shoved it up there. That's really bad. Let's see what the other one is. I have contemplated self-immolation more in the past 2 months. Well, this is sad. Then, I can't read that word. Then I've thought about going to see Renaissance, Renaissance, the Beyonce movie. I've contemplated self-immolation more in the past 2 months than I've thought about going to see Renaissance, and I sobbed in utter confusion at how anyone is able to achieve any sense of normalcy while all of these people are being killed en masse. I can understand the despair that this person's feeling. Comparing it to the Beyonce movie, it's weird. But on the other hand, Israel literally stole dead guy's sperm, so... No Redux says, Israel has this fascist ideology who thinks that the dead IDF soldiers have the superior genes. I actually posted a video. There's a game that I played on stream called Star Control 3. And there's a species called the Owa. And the first time you meet the Owa, they're like stranded in orbit around another planet. And they attack you regardless of what you do to try and get out of it. Because they're like, you know, no, we must defend the rainbow world. You are a foul invader. And like, you can even get to the point where you're like, because basically hyperspace stopped working, so they're stranded there. You've got a warp drive, so you're not affected. And you're telling them, hey, look, I can go find your homeworld and get your orders changed so you don't have to kill me. But they're like, no, we must not abandon our post, so we must kill you. It's like, and then you say, okay, well, I'm going to go find your world. I can let them know that you did your duty and whatnot. And then you go to their world and you tell them, yeah, hey, I accidentally killed some of your guys because they just wouldn't take no for an answer. And they go, oh, lo, they shall breed. We collect the sperm of every Oa, and only those who are the most noble are allowed to breed. So it was literally in a video game from 30 years ago that Israel just does. Yeah. All right. Foreskins versus Fight from Home. What do we got? Since ancient times, I don't even know who this tweet is from, but okay. Since ancient times, we are working to repair the world, and they are working to destroy. Okay, so this is a Zionist post. So 3,500 years ago with the Philistines, and so with their imagined descendants today, even more so. We desire life, and they desire terror and death. Oh yeah, by the way, when people say, when people deny that Palestine existed, they're like, oh, there was never a state of Palestine. You can never point to the thing. Palestine is literally just another, like, Philistine. They have the same root word, right? So if the Philistines were living there thousands of years ago, and they're the Palestinians now, it's the same root. It's the same word origin. It's just a different language's pronunciation of it. So this is just, you know, denial of other people who have been native to that region the entire time. We desire life, and they desire terror and death. We fill the land with everything good, and they fill it with dirt and ashes. Yeah, this is like the Ben Shapiro. Jews like to build, and Arabs like to live in open sewage. Yeah, this is just pure racism. David added 100 Philistine foreskins as revenge for plugging the wells with dirt. Our fighters who went to war for the house and to take revenge for the terrible massacre carried out by the Nazi terrorists will cover them in their tunnels with dirt and will return to peace with the abductees in AZ only after they have cut off all these cursed foreskins. That's atrocious. That is absolutely atrocious. Let's see what the other one is. Quit whining on the internet and take your soft ass to Gaza and fight with your buddies. Lol, you don't think that every communist 20-something in the West wouldn't happily and proudly be throwing down in the trenches with the resistance right now if they asked us to? The resistance has told us our role. It's to struggle against the empire from within and use our privileged position to spread news and word of the struggle. This is LARPy as shit. I still got to go with the foreskins. Limestone versus hometown Sharia. Yeah, LARP alert. Yeah, no, a lot of these are going to be tanky takes, which, you know, the neoliberals and myself, we don't agree on much, but we definitely agree that we don't like the tankies. Gaza has gas, Sudan has gold, Congo has cobalt, Haiti has limestone, Afghanistan has copper, West Papua has crude oil. Every nation suffering from some form of genocide or intense suffering is attractive in the eyes of the Western imperial machine of consumer capitalism. This is generally true. Yeah. Oh, except for Haiti has... everything has limestone, not just Haiti. I guess that's why they put that in there. But, like, yeah, there are a lot of places in the global south that are exploited for their natural resources, and they have a lot of humanitarian crises and a lot of wars and genocides inflicted on them because of their natural resources. So I don't know if every single specific example is correct here, but the general sentiment is correct. They're not after Gaza for gas, though Israel's already able to access it without the land. I don't know the details there. Let's see. I feel like my conservative hometown in the US is under more Sharia law than Gaza. Well, the truth is, a lot of the fear-mongering that conservatives do about Sharia law is literally just because it's brown people. Like, all of the things that they fear-monger about that are in Sharia law are things that they want to enact themselves. But I don't know any place in the US. I guess maybe in the last like year or two with like the appeal or the repeal of Roe v. Wade and stuff like that. I also have to you'll also have to consider that Hamas will like kill people in Gaza for, you know, openly denouncing them. Like, Hamas is really bad. I don't know all of the details, but I'm gonna, yeah, that one's bad. This one's kind of a toss-up. I think I'm just gonna go with the hometown Sharia. Let's see. Again, this is a neoliberal thread, so their complaints are going to be different. Gaza has billions of oil and gas offshore that Israel can't access because it's part of the coastal water territory and therefore considered contested in international laws. Okay, I don't know all the details on that. But let's see what the next one is. Come on, stop moving. Thank you. As an urban theorist and historian, my answer to 15-minute cities is look at what happened to the Jewish ghettos in the 1940s, look at what happened to Gaza City in 2023. Oh my god, conservatives are so fucking insane about 15-minute cities. They literally think it's a conspiracy to entrap them all. Oh man. They hear, hey, wouldn't it be nice if everything you needed was conveniently nearby? And they're like, is this communism? Let's see what the other one is. Okay, automatically just seeing Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. This is bad. If Israel were a person, it would undoubtedly be none other than Amber Heard shedding her crocodile tears. Do you agree? I always stayed away from the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard stuff just because everyone who seems to care about that situation just seemed like the most awful people. Lawrence Fox in the UK thought it meant you were only allowed outside for 15 minutes. Well, that would be a prison, yes. Ironically, their depiction of 15-minute cities with checkpoints everywhere is literally what they want to detain immigrants and POCs. Yeah, sounds like it. This one just feels sexist. I think this one's funnier, and I understand it better. Again, like I stayed far the fuck away from the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial stuff. I think I'm gonna go with 15-minute cities. Why are you scrolling? Stop scrolling, thank you. And to those ignorant fools who have the nerve to tell me I would be decapitated in a heartbeat in Gaza, what about Glasgow? What about Moscow? What about Medford, Malden, or Marlborough, Massachusetts? As a gay person who can't pass, as a cross-dresser, as a sissy, they have, they do, and they will kill us anywhere, bitch. Readers add context they thought people might want to know. In the most recent published year, 21 to 22, no deaths were recorded for homophobic or racial hatred. 11 to 21, 1% of deaths had homophobic or racial motivation. Being gay is a protected status in Scotland. In Gaza, deaths are state-sanctioned, no intervention. Okay, so when people are like, why are you gay and supporting Gaza? They would kill you there. It's like, the sentiment that she has here is about how, like, yeah, they will kill you in a lot of places in the world, and that doesn't mean that you support genocide. The examples that she cites, other than Moscow, seem, I don't know. I don't think I would have picked those. Human rights aren't conditional. Yes, exactly. Let's see what the other one has. The white American woman billionaire who could end the genocide of Palestinians with an Instagram post, with one Instagram post, is Time Person of the Year. White nonsense, white violence, white love of black and brown genocide. No. No, actually, Taylor Swift could not end the Gazan genocide. I think her examples are bad. This whole... yeah, I saw this post too. This one actually got community noted saying no wars have ever been ended through Instagram posts. So yeah, we're going with the Instagram. Yeah, queerphobia is not a justification for genocide. Absolutely. All right. Palestine bonk versus did the Nazis. Okay, let's see what we got. Stop scrolling. We will be with our comrades who are always with us. Pals are super fun. Also, black women who are into men, no judgments. There will be lots of our very handsome Palestinian brothers who believe it is their duty to protect and listen to black women. Oh, this is BLM Chicago. Didn't they post that thing that was like had the Hamas paratroopers as like honoring them? Whoever's running that Twitter account is like, what do we got? Did the Nazis do anything to their victims that was as horrific as what was done on October 7th? Oh my god. The people who are trying to launder the reputation of the Nazis to justify their genocide of the Gazans are some of the scummiest people on the planet. Oh. This one's weird, but I haven't even finished this. That's an honest question. I don't know Holocaust history. October 7th seems more savage and sadistic than the Nazis, more like ISIS or the Comanches. So we're just going to throw a Native American racism in there as well. Yeah, I think this is an easy one. That's an easy one. That is a horrible tweet. Holy shit. Someone says, did the Nazis is gonna win it all? It very well might. Okay, that was it. That was the last of those tweets. So, we have gone through, we have voted on this list of the worst tweets of 2023. Again, it was compiled by a neoliberal who very clearly didn't get some of those were shit posts. But overall, that was a funny and horrifying look at the worst that Twitter offered up this year. Hey, thanks for watching. Your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific and Sundays at 2 p.m., so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons, with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone friend tier patron Pistol Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.